Hello, this is Craig from visbox.co.uk. So I'm back on my work desk, ready to do another base for Blood Bowl. So here I have a 32mm base here. And of course the Bloodbowl Miniatures come with slotted bases, but I'm just using these bases just to show you how I make these for an example. So we're going to do like a snowy themed base today. And you could of course simply just add some snow effects on top of any old base. Like we could take our muddy base, which I have here for example, and we could just add some snow on top of that. But that'd be a bit boring, so I thought I'd try something sort of completely different. So we're going to start with a texture paint again in this video, but this time it's going to be Astrogranite Debris. So this is one of the thicker types of texture paint. So I've got a lot of it on my spatula here, and we're just going to spread that on the whole base. It doesn't spread on as well as the thinner ones, but it does give a nice big bumpy texture, which for this type of base that could work quite well. So I'm just going to spread it all on the base, and I'm sorry if we've got a bit of a reflection from the light there. Hopefully you guys can see this alright. But of course this takes a long time to dry, so I'll be coming back tomorrow to finish the rest of the space, or tomorrow for me of course. You guys won't have to wait that long. I'll still be on the same video. So I'll try and get the lighting fixed for that. So yep, just spread it around the whole base, and then once that's dry, I'll be back. Okay, so I've given the texture paint overnight to dry. You can see it gives us a really nice texture. Now it's a bit thicker than just the regular Astro granite, but that'll serve us very well for this base. That's sort of what we want to go with. So next up we are going to take some Nuln oil, and we're just going to give this a shade wash. So this will really darken this colour down, but in the next step we'll give it a dry brush to really brighten it up. So I'm just going to apply it straight out of the pot and just spread it around all over the base. Now I'll give it plenty of time to dry before we move on to the next step. Okay, so as you can see that's now darkened that base up quite a bit. So now we're going to take some Longbeard Grey. So this is a dry compound. I've already got some ready on my dry brush. And we're just going to dry brush over the whole base. Now this already gives it like a white sort of snowy appearance, but we are going to be using a snow effect anyway. This is just going to be what's underneath our base. That's lightened that up quite nicely, and that's brought out all the detail of the texture of the base. So if you want, you could just add some mud effect to this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take some dried bark, and I'm also going to be dry brushing. Now I'm just going to dry brush a few patches of this quite lightly, just to give it a bit more of a muddied appearance. So of course these Blood Bowl bases, they represent the pitch, and the pitch is going to be all trampled on, etc. So you expect to get mud and such all over them. So it's quite subtle. You can see it just has a little bit of a brown hue just to this base. So this next step is optional. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take some grass tufts. I've got these Highland tufts from Army Painter, and I'm just going to add one or two just to the base. Now they're self-adhesive, but you may wish to super glue them on anyway. Just going to press them down like that and squash them down just a little bit. And I think I'll put one more on, just one more little one. You only really need one or two of these. I'll put one. We'll put it there. That just has a little bit of grass to sort of represent that. There sort of has been grass on this pitch, and it may have all just been trampled down. So next up we're going to start adding our snow effects, and to do that I'm going to take some Valhallan Blizzard. So this is one of the new texture paints from GW. It's a very good snow effect. I haven't really used it much at all. If you look inside the pot, see, it really does look like snow. So yeah, this is my first time really properly using it. So we'll try it out. So I've got my spatula ready, and I've just got a big dollop of it here. So I'm just going to press it down onto the base. It's quite interesting to use. It's really like, it really is like thick snow. So we're not going to apply it all over the base, just in different areas. You just want to push it down just a little bit to make it stick. Also, you can have a variety of thicknesses. It's also fairly light, and you may have seen the Warhammer TV video on it, but you can actually just place bits of it just in the static grass. If I get on camera, that'll give you a little bit of a snow effect within the grass tufts. I'm going to switch to a little brush, so I'll just apply small amounts here. And with a brush I can really sort of push it within these tufts as well. So yeah, that's really my first time really playing around with this stuff, but it does go on the base quite well. I'm finding it easier with a brush than the spatula, I must admit, even though it's hard to get significant amounts out of the pot. So just build up as much of this snow effect as you want. And here's the base after the snow effects have been applied. So after I applied them, I did push them down just with my finger, just to really get them pressed into the base. As I say, it's used to represent the pitch. Of course, a lot of people, orcs, etc. will be running around on the pitch, so the snow will be sort of crushed beneath their feet. So that's what I've sort of gone with here, and it does stick to the base really well if you do push it down like that. And I've even pushed it just in these tufts. So I'm quite happy with how that's looking. All what's left to do is just paint the rim of the base. And for something like this, I suggest painting sort of a lighter colour. So I'm going to take some Dawnstone. You could of course go with sort of any sort of light greys, even blues, or white, if you really want to, but I think Dawnstone works really well for this type of base. And here is the finished base. Now I've added a couple of little bits of blood for the Blood God, just to have some blood on the base. That is of course entirely optional. You may prefer it without. This little tuft here is a bit wobbly, so I'll have to super glue that down. They are normally quite good, and this one's stuck down quite well. But apart from that, the base is all good to go. That's the first time I use these snow effects, and I have quite enjoyed them. They stick to the base really well, especially if you push them down. And you can just add more if you want the snow to be thicker in any places. So I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial. Again, it's a very quick and simple base you can use for your Bloodbowl miniatures. If you'd like to see any other types of bases or paint tutorials or anything really, please leave a comment below. We have some other painting tutorials for Bloodbowl in the works, which I'll be starting working on very soon. So if you want to keep up to date with everything on this channel, you can of course subscribe, and if you enjoyed this video you can give it a thumbs up. So all what's left for me to say is thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all again in the next video.